Do you ever feel like you are in too deep now to change? Like you chose this life, these responsibilities, this path, and now you just have to live with it? If you're married, have children, a career, a mortgage, or a life that looks settled from the outside, then this video is for you. You made decisions years ago, and now a quiet voice inside you is asking, is this really it for me? The fear is, what if it's too late to choose differently? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, then stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know the 3 questions that will tell you if you're stuck in fear and what one small change you can make to start getting your life back. So the truth is that most people stay in things out of fear. Jobs they hate, relationships that exhaust them, places that no longer fit, family dynamics that cost you your peace. But here's what I've seen and learned. Staying can be avoidance dressed up as responsibility. I don't have memories of my parents liking each other much at all, but I do remember my dad saying that he would never leave my mum because she wouldn't make it without him. My dad passed away this year, and my mum has learnt quickly and she's managing well. I think he was actually scared of not making it without her. Avoidance feels safer than failure. But you and I know that it has a very high price. It suppresses your joy, voice, and dreams. If you have ever felt this tension between responsibility and truth, tap like so that it reaches those who need to hear this too. So one of the biggest lies that we absorb as adults is this: I already chose, now I have to live with it. You do not lose the right to choose again. The most inspirational parents and partners I know are the ones who refuse to stay stuck. They're adaptable, forward-thinking, and they model choice to others and their children. They show their children that life is not one irreversible decision. They show that growth is allowed. We are so quick to give our children what we didn't have ourselves: freedom, options, support, love, good self-care. But all too often, I see that we forget to give ourselves the same stuff, the same permission. In my last relationship, I learned what happens when you stay in a season for too long. At the beginning of our relationship, we agreed that we did not want children. But later, my partner realized that he did. And that was not a small detail. And honestly, looking back on that relationship now, that breakup was amicable. It was the right thing to do. But there was actually a lot more problems going on in our relationship. And that decision to break up saved us from way bigger things down the line. Staying longer in that relationship would have fed the avoidance I had. If I had stayed longer, I really would have lost my spark, my creativity, my ideas, my voice, myself. So sometimes life will force the truth forward when we are too scared to choose it ourselves. So when does the safe path become self-abandonment? This is where many of us get stuck. We confuse endurance with integrity, but endurance without alignment, that will eventually break you. In China, I learned that when your soul is done, more money is not going to fix the erosion. I took a job in China because I was so deep in debt, and it made sense to me to work hard and just see it through to make the money back. And truly, the sensible thing would have been to have stayed another year in China to make more money than I had. But honestly, I could not do it. Forcing yourself to stay out of safety, that creates a slow erosion in your mind, in your body, in your health, in your worth. Where do you most want to break through right now? Is it in your work, your relationships, your location, or how you see yourself? Tell me in the comments. Reading other people's answers is going to remind you that you are not the only one questioning the safe path. Now, here is what most people get wrong about choosing themselves. It's usually not a dramatic exit. It just starts with a quiet shift. I mean, yes, I've made huge leaps in my life. I've left countries and relationships and careers like that. But the things that have actually saved me are smaller. And listen to this very carefully. I stopped asking what's safest, and I started asking what's truest. This is the one question that has kept me from slowly disappearing from my life. So if you're listening and thinking, okay, Alice, well, what do I actually do here physically, action-wise? I want to give you 3 questions that are going to help you see your life clearly so you can choose your next honest step. Question 1, where am I staying out of fear, not alignment? Because at some point, safety quietly replaces truth. Maybe it's the job that once saved you, but now it's shrinking you. Maybe it's the relationship that you are scared to outgrow. Just notice where fear in your life is driving and calling itself responsible. Question 2, what is one part of my life that is asking to evolve, not explode? This is important. Choosing yourself does not mean that you have to burn everything down to the ground. This doesn't have to be leave the marriage, quit the business. Sometimes it means this role needs to change shape. This dynamic needs a new boundary. This version of me is done. So where is your life asking for an update, not a demolition? Question 3, what is the smallest change that would make me feel like myself again? You don't need to think of the perfect 5-year plan. You don't have to think of the full exit strategy. Just think of one small shift that is going to reconnect you to your true self. That might be one honest conversation that you have been avoiding. It could be about dedicating 1 hour a week to what really brings you joy. It could be about sending that email that says, hey, this isn't working for me anymore. When you sit with these 3 questions, things start to really shift. You realize you're not trapped, it's not too late, and that you're not failing at life. Far from it. You are standing at a decision point. What you actually need is clarity about where you are now, what's no longer aligned, and what your next honest step looks like. And this is exactly why I created the map. Inside the map, I look at your unique energy and strengths and give you a personal blueprint to reveal what season you're in, what direction actually matches you, and the next few decisions that are going to move you from stuck and second guessing to clear, grounded, and self-led. So instead of circling the same questions at 3 a.m., you have a map that shows you where you are and where you're meant to go next and how to get there. If you are ready to choose yourself without burning your life down, the map is for you. You can find it in the links below. And wanting more truth and authenticity in your life does not make you wrong. You are allowed to choose again with wisdom, responsibility, and self-respect. If this landed, subscribe. This channel is for people rebuilding after failure and choosing themselves in the middle of real life, not from a blank slate. Next up, my dad died this year, and I'm going to share what my dad's death taught me about failure and what happens when things do not go to plan. If you are scared that you have missed a chance to matter, definitely watch this video. It's going to be a great one for you. And remember, dear changemaker, you have not failed, you've been forged.